Brother PR1055X 10 needle embroidery machine, new for 2021 from Brother, available now at Brother authorized dealers. And we have some very special guests today on the show. You just never know what's going to happen when you're on the Allbrands show. So give us a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you think of the new products, if you have any questions. And I think that you will be pleasantly surprised at our surprise that we have for you today. And we're also going to be doing a giveaway of Simply Applique software, so stay tuned to the end and we will announce a winner for that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in Coleen Swettman, Brother National Educator.
Hello. Hi, it's so exciting to be here. I'm standing in front of a new machine and I'm not going to let you peek at it. Oh, maybe I will.
I love it, Coleen.
It's just been so much fun. And they not only have a new machine, but they have new toys to go with it. And the coolest thing about the new toys is they fit your PR1000 or your PR1050X too. So
yes.
That's really exciting.
So I know you're a good sport, Coleen.
Yes.
And I absolutely love Brother. And I feel like Brother has such a great community of educators and all of that. So I thought since this was our 4 of 4, that we'd get a special shout out from another friend of ours that I'm going to bring in. And I didn't tell you about this because I wanted to surprise you. And it is Reen WIlcoxson. Hi.
Hi, Reen.
Hi, Coleen.
How are you? Have you touched the new baby yet?
I can't hear.
Oh, okay. So Coleen asked, can you hear me? Oh, shoot. Okay. You may need to unplug your microphone from your headphones. So we'll bring her back in a minute. So just wave and smile and nod. Yay. Hi. Okay. And we'll bring her back once she gets the audio. So, Coleen, sorry. I was like, I know Coleen will be a good sport. So, what do you think about the new PR1055X?
I'm totally in love. Unabashedly in love. But I've only been using a multi-needle since the first one came out in 2004. So I'm pretty much in love with this machine as it is. And what they've done with this machine is to make it more user-friendly. And you thought it was user-friendly before. The icons are just exactly where you need them to be when you're navigating through to fix a design or work with a design. So more features, really, really nice to use, very quiet. I am totally in love with this guy.
Okay, so Reen says she can hear, so we can get her opinion on it real quick. Reen, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Coleen, can you hear Reen?
Yeah. Reen, have you gotten to try the new one?
No, I haven't. I do have the 1050X and love it, but that 1055 looks fantastic.
It is a dreamboat. You'll love it.
I'm anxious to see and hear more about the magnetic hoop for it.
Oh, it's super. It's totally easy to use, but it'll hold the biggest, heaviest quilt you can even imagine.
I was wondering, you know, you say it's a border hoop or a sashing hoop, but would it be good for towels?
Of course. You know, they have to give it a name. And so they gave it a name for sashing or quilting because it's easy to move. But one of the samples that I have to show you today is a huge, heavy jacket that was done on it.
Wow.
So it's really nice. It's those heavy things that are so horrible to hoop sometimes.
Right.
The magnets are just wonderful. They just snap right into place and hold it.
The stuff that you used to have to baste, float it and baste it down to keep it from moving.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I love the new hoop. I've been playing with it.
Lucky, lucky.
I know.
So,
Do you
Reen,
want
is
to?
that your favorite thing that you've seen so far? The magnetic hoop?
Yeah, I really like that, and I'm really interested in the hexi quilting.
Yes.
That
I
looks
have to
really
say,
neat.
the enhancements to my design center. Do you have a PR1050, the previous model?
Yes, I have the 1050, and you can tell just by what I've seen, it took a big jump.
See this guy?
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to turn it around so you can see how heavy it is. It's a heavy Carhartt jacket.
That's a good brand.
Wow.
So, yeah, it is. It's a really good brand, and that's why it was used, because a lot of people like to embroider on these. And see how there's no hoop mark, no marking of any kind. It just took it and did it in stride.
People are
So
going to
that
love that.
I know.
I
So,
love it too. I'm so
and
excited about these new machines.
the nice thing about that hoop is it'll fit your 1050 or the 1000.
Nice.
I know. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Good job.
So do you have to have an update or anything to be able to use the magnetic hoop with the
Yes, and thank you
and I
for
think
asking
the
that.
6 needle too. It's going to work with 600 and up.
No, it won't work with the 600. The
620.
600 and the 602 it will not work with. From those up, it will.
Yeah,
And there will be
sorry.
a free update so that all of those machines can use them.
Thank you, brother. I'm so excited about that. And I was telling Reen, my favorite is the new interface on the PR1055 because it's just so much easier to look at. It's easier to navigate. It's not as like, the colors aren't as like stringent on your eyes, and the My Design Center is just so much more beefed up than it was before.
Well, just for the quilting designs alone, they added a bunch of the quilting designs for the background fill and in the regular part of the machine. So now it has a lot. I mean, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's more in line with the Luminaire now.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So just chiming in, Charlene, I think that you get the award. She's one of our watchers. She's always the first one to comment for each of our 4 big reveals. So she's been the early bird for every episode. And she is glad to hear that it's quieter, and she's looking forward to this live. And then we got a question from Sarah about the magnetic hoop, which we will be going into deep detail with Coleen on the features, but she's asking if it'll work with the Dream Machine. And the answer is it's not recommended for any machine except for the Luminaire or the multi-needles, 620 and up. Is that right, Coleen?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct.
So yeah. So we have the masters here. So if y'all have any questions, let me know, and Coleen will correct me if I give you a wrong answer too. Oh my gosh. And Anne has a PR1000. Oh my gosh, there's been so many more enhancements since then, Anne. So we'll get into that and everything. So Reen, we really appreciate you popping in today. Do you have anything else that you want to say? Shout out?
I just want to say I'm glad to see Coleen. You know, I know we did a couple of events last year, I think it was, and miss ya.
Yeah, me too. And I was just telling Barbara, I was so excited about Houston, and then now there's no Houston.
Yeah, that's disappointing, but
Understand.
You got to do what you got to do.
I'm looking forward to 2021 Houston, and we'll think of something fun so that we can all get together and still offer the great machine specials that we do every year at Houston Quilt Festival. So
it's always a fun time.
Thank you. Hi.
All right, I'm going to watch the rest of the show because I got lots to learn too now.
Oh, great. Well, make sure that you comment.
Oh, we'll do. Maybe I'll win a prize.
Yay! All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for being a good sport.
Oh, sure.
So, what's new with the Brother PR1055X and the new accessories?
Well, number one, you already heard me talk about the sash hoop, and it is wonderful. It's magnetic. Let me grab it.
Okay, and this is, y'all, this thing is amazing. The Baby Lock Venture 10 needle, I believe so, yes.
This is magnetic, and the magnets are very, very, very powerful. And that's probably why they don't want you to use it on other machines, but they just snap on and snap off. And you can actually move your quilt or your garment without taking all of the magnets off. So once you have it lined up, you can just remove all but 2 of the small magnets, 1 on each side, and just shift it. It is just amazing what you can do with this guy. And I did one of the quilt designs in it so you could see how, you know, how it looks when it's done. But isn't that fun?
That's
and
a
then
game changer, Coleen. And
it
look,
is
I
game
think
changer.
I don't see a reason to use a regular hoop ever again. I think that they all need to be magnetic in the future.
Absolutely. And now that they have the format, this is great. I mean, this one, the one for the PR, you don't even need an arm for it. You just put it on itself and it recognizes it and it's good to go.
I noticed
And it'll
that.
show you on. Oh yeah, no, it's wonderful.
Gosh. So you can literally just like stitch out a portion of the design, take out all but 2 of the magnets, slide it.
Yep.
Either, can you slide it both directions, right, left, up, and down?
I've only done it one way, but there's actually a video on the machine screen. The machine has all the training videos in it, and it actually has a video. There's actually 29 videos now on this machine, and one of them is dedicated to just this hoop and actually showing you how to do that.
Yeah, I wish I had one here. But they're coming in very soon. We're just waiting for them to deliver.
Oh, for the hoop. As I say, you have the machine. It's the hoop you're waiting for. How hard are the magnets? I see that come in, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it. They're easy to put on. They just literally snap in place to the base. And there's a special tool, which I happen to have stupidly left in the other room, but they give you a little rocker tool that has that fits right over the rail, and it just lifts it right up and it'll pop right off. It's a no-brainer. And I have arthritis and I can do it without any effort at all.
I love that.
It was well thought out.
So you take off the A or B arm from the machine, and then the hoop itself just hooks directly on, which is
right. And then you can just leave it on as you're rehooping because there's plenty of room. So it's no big deal at all. Yeah.
That is so cool.
I have a quilt waiting for borders right now as we speak. It's been sitting there waiting. Well, that was one of the new ones. And this, I mean, I love this guy. I think this is something that everybody would want to have. Can I show them another fun one?
Yeah, sure. While you're getting that, Joanne Banco says that the new tool is a cinch to remove the magnets. And I didn't know, like, the way that Angela did it for the Luminaire, because there's one for the Luminaire, and there's a different one for the multi-needles. It's so easy the way it pops off. And then you can use it, like, not just for moving things around, but it helps you, like, smooth out the top of the material more easily. Yes. I feel like it's easier to hoop, and plus you can fit more in between. Like with a regular hoop, it may be hard to like fit all that fabric from through the top and the bottom together. You know what I mean? Like if you have like a quilt.
It is just an absolute snap with this. I mean, literally, you just bring the magnet down. Let's see. If I do this on the table, will you be able to see it? I'll just pull off one of the magnets.
Okay, so just position your camera down just a little bit. Perfect. And I'll make you full screen. Yeah.
Will it stay there? It doesn't want to behave. Just like my children.
I'll take out the banner so that people can see.
So I'm just going to take this and slide it across. And all I have to do is get close. And did you see it snap itself into place?
Yes.
It snaps itself because the metal bars are thick. You know, it's got a wide base to it. So you just literally, I'll do it again. Here we go. Slide, 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 snap.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
can really use them like interchangeably, you know, like somebody's like, well, what if you don't put them on in the right orientation? Like you can have that
Oh,
longer
well, of
fire.
course. That's a very good question, except for the answer is right here. The little arrow, right? Can you see right above my finger?
Yes.
The little arrow points to the fabric. Always, the little arrow points to the fabric. And if you look at the groove on it, you can see it'll only fit one way.
Yeah.
So you're not going to make a mess of this. It is going to do it right.
Yeah. So Dawn is asking a very good question, which the brother engineers contacted me after the first video, and I blasted it all over the product page. The snap hoops are only recommended for the Luminaire and the 10 needle. And the reason is the weight of the hoop and the strength of the magnet over time could compromise the machine. So that hopefully clarifies that. So if you want to use the magnetic hoop, trade that machine in and get yourself a Luminaire or a 10 needle embroidery machine. So yeah. And what size is the frame for the Luminaire? And that's a good question. I know for the Luminaire it's 7x12, but it's different from the multi-needle, right?
I believe this one is the same as our 7.5 by 7 7/8 by 14.
Let me look that up real quick. I thought I remembered.
If I compare it to our largest hoop, I believe that it is the same. You know, the largest.
360 millimeters by 260 millimeters. Let's see.
And see, are you converting that in your head? Are you?
So it's 14.17 by, let's see, we're verifying this, by 7.87.
That's what I said, 7 7/8.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, are you ready for another new accessory?
Yes.
I love this guy. So I'm sorry, I always go the wrong way. This is a new tubular arm. And the reason that you would like to have the tubular arm is because sometimes you're doing things where you can't have the table on because part of it has to hang down, but you still need support for the weight of the item. That makes sense, right? So this guy doesn't have any screws or any attachment things. All you have to do is right here on the bottom, there's a little lever. When you pull the little lever, this swings down. This has rubber on it so that it grasps the arm. And when you let go, it just clings to the arm. It doesn't move. It stays on like a rock. And I put some pretty heavy stuff on it. But wait, this is nice, but let me just, oh, I may not be able to pull it when it's not on the table because it might be smarter than me. Let me do it off and I'll put it on the table for you.
Looks like there's a little button or snap on the bottom.
Yeah, and I had that here. Can you see me now?
Yeah, so it prevents the weight of the object from tipping forward and like pushing the hoop down, which could create issues.
So see how far out that comes? It comes out as far as your table. So when you're doing something really heavy, like this gigantic laundry bag or bag that's made out of heavy denim, it could put weight on it and pull it, and it could cause misalignment. But with the tubular arm, it completely takes that away. And you just slide it on, and there you go.
So Debbie asks about the compatibility of this with other multi-needle machines.
With other 10 needle machines? Any of the 10 needles, any of the brother 10 needles it'll work with, and it will work with the 6 needles also, except for the 600 and the 602.
Okay. So the next model is the 620, right?
It'll work on that.
Okay, good. Cool.
And then you just release it and it slides right off. But boy, oh boy, it will not slide.
Sleeves or long tubular items.
Right, pants, legs,
Legs.
sleeves. That laundry bag I was just showing you is a huge, heavy bag. Sometimes you get things like that, and it's just so easy now with this arm to hold it. Otherwise, we used to kind of stand there and hold the back side of a real heavy jacket or something. This will take care of that. Is that cool?
So cool. Yeah, so this is a dealer only item, so I can't tell you the price of it, but I will include the link to learn more in the comments, and that's the tubular. Is it called the tubular frame?
Or tubular arm is what I call it, because it's really more like an arm.
Okay. And is there a hoop on it?
Nope, no hoop on it. It's just the support arm. It works with any of your hoops.
Great. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Sure.
Okay. And then last
Ready
but
for
not
another one?
least, I have a video of one that I'm super excited about.
Of what?
It's made of paper. The book. The
Oh,
Playbook?
all right. Go ahead. That is a very good one.
Or should we save that for last? Oh, we let the cat out of the bag anyway. So let me go ahead and I'll bring up the video for that one. I actually have a video on the tubular. No, I don't. Let's see. I have a video on the Playbook here. So let's pull that. And
Introducing the Entrepreneur Pro X PR1055X Playbook, featuring 34 projects clearly laid out in beautiful detail, from exercise requirements at the start of each project to your finished work.
So Coleen, let's pause it here. First of all, I love that guy's voice. He's like very nice to listen to. But for those of you who have not had the pleasure of owning a Brother Playbook, Coleen, can you just tell us a little bit more about the process that goes into creating a playbook?
Okay, so first of all, you can think of the playbook as me sitting beside you when you're doing a project. So when the projects open, when it'll tell you the title, and many of them have videos so you can follow along, but for each thing that you need to touch, it shows you the icon to touch. So you never have to wonder, well, what should I touch next? It shows you a little icon to touch, and you touch that and you just step right through the project. They're all based on learning skills, things that we think that you would need to know. This one is different from the 1050. There's one out for the 1000 and the 1050, but those screens are different. There are more features on this screen, so it had to be completely rewritten for this specific machine.
Okay, so I have the 1050 Entrepreneur Pro X. This was the model before. I have the Playbook, and this was the most valuable resource I had in learning the machine, because it gave me a specific project to go by, all of the step-by-steps with the pictures of the icons, and I ended up with a finished result of something. So I love that about the Playbooks.
I think one of the things,
it's a good way to learn.
I think one of the things that I liked about it too is the videos. It actually has a video card, and you can just pop it in. They say you can pop it into the machine, which of course you can. I prefer to use a secondary device so I can watch the video and then follow along and do it on my sewing machine screen, my embroidery machine.
So who wrote the PR1055 Playbook?
It's the secret information.
Okay.
But you know them.
Okay. I was just wondering if you wrote it. I'm sure you had something to do with it, maybe.
It's generally, no, I won't name names, but it was written by someone who knows the machine very, very, very well, and is very in tune to what you need to know to be happy.
Yeah. So one of the things when you get a Brother machine, because they do so many things, it's hard to figure out where am I going to start or what am I going to do? And that's what this Playbook does. So let's just finish watching the video.
The Playbook features nearly 200 pages of step-by-step instructions, but they're not just step-by-step. In the Playbook, you'll see each lesson icon by icon, along with each step. This will not only help you know the way, it will help you know the machine. Supported by over 5 hours of video lessons, 35 individual videos that take you through some of the same lessons you'll find in the book. Think of the Playbook as a multimedia guide to help you get the most out of your machine.
Let's add a decorative fill to an embroidery design.
Available now.
So it is
It's an-
available now.
It is, and it's an exciting book.
That was so intense. I was like, you press the button, it goes.
I know.
But it's so great. It's a great product to learn,
It is.
and just to have by your side, and it's so much more fun to go through than an instruction manual. So yeah, that's one of my favorites.
So are you ready for another new accessory?
I don't know. How about, what do y'all think? Renee says she loves the Playbook.
Oh yeah, there's no question about loving the Playbook.
Okay, yeah, I think we're ready for more.
Okay, well, what if you had this really, really simple to use new hat hoop that would stitch a little bit closer to the brim than we have been able to in the past. It's much more compact and easy to use and easy to even take with you if you were going to go to a show and do things at a show. Would that interest anybody?
Of course. We never want to be limited with hats, especially if we're doing this as a side business, have an Etsy store. We don't want to have any limitations for our customers who are paying. I say, when there's money on the table, you take it. You find a way to take it.
Well, the fun thing is about that is, you know, even if you're going on a group trip, a hat is a convenient way to have everybody match. Because shirts, I don't know, they never want to wear the same shirt, but they'll wear the same hat.
Yeah.
So here's a fun one. This is a fun one. I just took a couple of little designs on there and combined them and then added an initial to it. And the reason that I'm choosing this same style of hat is because these are the ones that were really hard to do on some other hooping devices. This is a snapback, so they're very stiff because they snap back into shape. So these are easy to do now. Just a snap. And then one more, a snap. Did you get that? Oh.
That's the word of the day. It's a snap. Oh, that's a popular hat.
It is a popular hat. And this is so simple to use. It was designed by a woman who sews with us. No, I don't know who does that, but it was. So here is the part that goes onto the machine. So you can see it's significantly smaller. It works exactly the same way as far as the part that goes on the machine. That part is exactly the same way. The hoop arm is going to go right through this big hole right here. And then you have the drive arm snaps on. But are you ready for the rest part? Because this is cool.
Yes, I'm ready.
That's what you get. So there's the frame. And this is the part, you know how you used to have a band that you would tuck over? This actually just slides in. So it is simple, super simple. It's just a little brim holder. The little teeth line up right along there. It's got a center mark point to go with your center seamed hats. Let me tell you what, it's nice.
Oh my
and
goodness.
It's easy. Yeah, I know.
I love this. So I have a question that everyone's dying to know.
Okay.
Do you have to buy, because to do caps, you have a driver, a jig, and the frame, right?
Mhm.
3 pieces. So if
Correct.
I have a 10 needle machine and I have a current driver and jig,
Nope.
will that fit this? So you need, there's a whole new
With the whole new set.
driver.
Mhm. Because they're all compatible pieces, they mix together. So this has to be the first set. You get all 3 pieces. You get the driver, you get the jig, and you get the hoop. You can buy an extra one if you want to be able to do 2 or 3 hats at a time, but It is a home.
Joanne, if you make a hat for Joanne, use the standard PR cap frame for her, because she says this new style, the flat brim style, crushes her curls. We can't have that. We can't mess up Joanne.
So really, but anyway. So that's the fun of this guy. And he is so simple to use. This literally just slides on and off. I'm going to pull it off real quickly so you can see. This is the part that would be mounted.
Got it. And it is different. So it's specially made to work with that type of hat.
Yeah. So all I have is, it'll work with every type of hat though. Mm-hmm. It's not just this, but it will accommodate this, because these were harder to do because they were stiff. So it works with these, but I mean, I've done 1,000 other hats also with it just to test it. I've given it everything I can think of that would possibly make it fail. Yeah. And I haven't had a failure yet.
So I know they have the wide brim cap frame for the PR1050. And then now they have a non-wide one that you can also use with the 1050. It just doesn't have as big of an area. But then this one is specially made for, they call it a flat brim cap frame, but you're saying that you can also use it for other frames as well.
Absolutely, yes. I use it for everything.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, so this one is, see, this is not a flat brim. This is just a regular little low profile hat, and it did a beautiful job on it.
Hi, Rosemary. Thanks for watching. She says, anything that gets me closer to the brim, the better. And Rosemary has a business called Upper 90 Logos in San Antonio, so she knows her stuff for running a side business with the multi-needle machine.
That's good to hear. One of the things that I always tell people, they worry about, they want it really close down to the brim, but the trouble is that then people can't see it. It does have to sit some above the brim, or the brim interferes with the view of the logo. So I'm going to hold this up and show you how this is to hoop. I'm just going to take this little brim holder. I'm going to slide it right over the top. I'm going to line it up. And then I don't have this hooked up yet, but it would just literally snap onto this, just like our other ones have. And it's so easy to use, so quick to align that.
Okay, so we have some questions because apparently people are interested in this topic. So if you don't mind.
Just give me answer questions.
Can we do Can we do I guess so. Okay, so Deborah, hi, thank you for watching. What about thin hats?
What about what?
Thin hats.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
I did one of those yesterday just to test it. I don't like them, but it stitched fine.
Yeah. So Amanda asks, what's the embroidery area of this flat brim cap frame?
2 3/8 by 5 or 5.5. I can't remember right off the top of my head.
Okay. And is that bigger or the same size as the other one?
I think it's the same size. Okay. Other than the big one, that's 14 inches. So if you want to do, and the advantage to that is you can do a front and 2 sides.
Yes. Okay.
So if you're in a business where people want stuff on the side, that is the way to go.
Yeah. I would probably just get both if you're planning on doing hats so that you have more versatility. Right. Let's see. And which models is the flat brim cap frame fit on?
Are you ready for that answer?
Because Rosemary says she wishes she could use it for her 650.
Well, she can.
Yay, Rosemary, you're in luck.
It's everything the 600 and the 600 too.
Perfect.
That's easy.
Yeah. So everything that we've been showing so far, if you have a 620 or up, you're eligible for, except for maybe the Playbook, because that shows features that you won't have on your machine unless you get the PR1055, which we're going to be going in depth on pretty soon. Thank you, Coleen, for showing us that.
I know. I get to show the fun stuff.
Yay! So now
know.
that we showed the optional accessories with the machine,
Yes.
another optional accessory, of course, is the stand. Everybody knows. But just contact your dealer, you know, see what they're throwing in free. Definitely check allbrands.com because we always have great deals. And yes, Sally, the 1050 as well for all of those accessories. So, so when you first got this machine, what was your wow? Like, what were you the most excited about?
Oh man, that is really tough. First of all, it's just plain pretty. It looks sleek, like a real hard working tool. The lights are gone. It has multiple levels of notification. I'm kind of a software girl. I love my software and I love technology. So when I found out that I could create a design in my PE design software and send it directly to the machine, that made my heart happy. And I tried it out, of course, and it works wonderfully. And then another thing that it does that really is useful for a lot of people is it has stitch monitor on it. So I can set up a design. And of course, with the 10 needle, I'm not always just standing right here. I'm letting it do its own thing. And if I was, say, in the other room or just went to get a cup of coffee and a thread breaks, it tells me on my cell phone that my thread broke. In fact, it tells me on my watch, you have a broken thread. I was like, oh, okay. Or I need to, it is wonderful. And I always kind of like, who needs that? Oh, it's really nice. It's really nice. And with that link with PE Design, because you can send directly, if you have more than one machine, because some people do, they start with one and then they add another and another, you can actually have up to 10 of these guys. Yes.
And you can link it wirelessly or through the LAN or through the cords.
It's wireless. The cords are 4, but with wireless, I can do up to 10.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, I would do it wireless anyway. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
So fast. I mean, you can. I'll be at my computer and I'll press send, and I'll hear it go ding. So no, that was wonderful. There's a lot of cool things on here. I have something on my screen. Let's just go through the screens, Barbara, and show them what they're doing.
Let me get my camera up so that we can go in closer.
Okay, and I don't know if they can see what's on my screen right now.
No, that's why I have one here. Let's see.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is I've done. That's cool. I've done something on my screen that I was going to let them peek at.
Okay, let's do you.
Okay. I'm going to move it closer so you can see. Can you see my screen? You see that beautiful flower?
It's a little hard to see.
Well, that's a bummer.
I'm sorry. Why don't you walk me through it on my machine and I can pull it up?
I will, but I want them to see the end result first.
Okay.
Can you see it now? A little bit.
It's a little tough.
Okay. All right. Darn it. Well, what I was going to show you is I'm going to put it in the memory. It came from this design right here. Okay. And I was able to create it with some of the new features that I'm in love with. So I'll you go to your screen and we'll walk through some stuff. How's that?
Yes. So my favorite thing, the PR1050 has a black outline on it. And it's just harsh on your eyes. So I love the new interface with the colors. It's just much more easy to look at. So you have some new designs with the machine, right?
We do. So if you'll touch that first design category on the far left, you have 50 new designs in that category.
And you can change the sizing here. So if you want to see more at a time,
you can change your view. You can see it really, really huge, depending on how, what you're looking for. So that's a new feature. Okay, now back out of that for a minute. And the next one over is the far right, top row. Touch that guy.
This is quilting designs.
That is quilting designs. And they are beautiful. I mean, they are gorgeous designs. Would you like to see a few of them stitched out?
I would love to. And let me just point out before I switch the screen, there's like collections. So like the first 3 can be used in combination with each other. And I'm just thinking of ways to use that magnetic frame to combine all of them.
So I'm going to just kind of roll this past so that you can see. I didn't stitch them all by any stretch of anyone's imagination, but I have a few.
Ooh, go back to the middle one. That's my favorite. Look at that triple stitch in the design. It's so pretty.
It is pretty, isn't it? And then, am I going the right direction?
Oh, yeah.
And then there's another row.
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Coleen, that middle one on the bottom. Look at that. So that's a built-in design?
Yes.
That's amazing. You could also make something like that in the machine with my design.
Yeah, but the one I want you to really focus with is, I'm going the wrong direction. This one right here. Look at this one. Because it's one design there, correct? Now, if I get far enough back, you'll be able to see these are all companion pieces for that one design. So there's a center one companion, there's a long one that's a companion, and there's the corner ones.
These are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, they're breathtakingly beautiful. And these are in multicolors, triple stitch. They're beautiful.
Wow.
So that's just some of what, it's pretty cool with the new categories. So I only stitched a few just to give you a kind of a rough idea, but now you have an idea, huh? All right, so, okay.
Go ahead.
Let's go back to your butterfly.
Okay.
I want to go back and get to I want to go all the way back to where we can get to the categories. Are you there? Go back again. Go back again. Now you have letter fonts. So what I want you to do is to go to the one that's in the second row, middle.
This was one of my favorite things, Coleen.
Okay, so now what you're going to see is that you have new ones there. You have 3 more that you didn't used to have. So on the top row, third, top row, fourth, and the middle row, the first one.
Yes.
Those whole 3 alphabets are brand new. And the last one that Barbara was pointing at, the dark brown one, he is uppercase and lowercase. And she's going through.
Coleen doing a whole banner with some of these, and this one is really cool.
I use that one all the time because I will do like your last name, and then I'll put your name in the crawl space there.
Go to embroidery,
okay.
But you could basically go like if I want to pull up a C, set, add, and then you can add your name.
Yep.
CON1LEE.
Right. Look at you.
I can do this.
I know.
I like this. Oh,
it's kind of hard to learn though, isn't it?
And then, it took me forever. I only learned it like my 5th year working at Allbrands. I'm on my 13th now. But that middle button centers everything.
Yep.
It took me forever to figure that out. But that's so cool that you could just like place a name in there.
Right. Right. So those 3 fonts are brand new to the PR, which is really fun to have.
And this is the one with the uppercase and lowercase, right?
Yes.
And these are also now in the Luminaire as well.
And then it has not only the uppercase and lowercase, but it also has some foo-fa things to go with it. Decorative, pretty stitches.
Cute. Oh, cute. Yes.
Keep going.
Oh, the @ sign. That'll be fun. This one was pretty. We did this one with Angela earlier on the Luminaire. So you could just add another scripty font, C for Coleen, and then like switch them around and move them and everything. And
It really turned your initial into a work of art. So those are a few of the things. And now wait, go all the way back because there's another category waiting for you.
Oh, and there's even more than I showed. Let's see. Let me go back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let me go use the arrows. There's also the Greek letters, which is so important. And
in 2 sizes, then one of those is an applique font because she wanted to do them as an applique.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Sorry, I got excited.
That's okay. You give a kid a new toy and they just can't stop playing.
This kid is keeping this PR1055 and doing tons more videos on it on her live channel for Allbrands.
I would be too. So in the second row, the middle row, touch that last category.
You mean the sashing category?
I do mean the sashing category. So you have 2 things in the sashing category. The first one is going to give you the new sashing. It's the same sashing that we have had on the Luminaire. So some of you are going to be familiar with it, where you can just put in the size of the quilt that you're going to do and it will calculate the sashing for you and then make it fit and match. The matching part I really like.
Yeah.
So it has that in it, which is really, really wonderful. Now it only goes up to 118 inches by 118 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's like a super king, I think.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you know what I like though? And tell me if I can do this or not. So like because when you do a design, when you create it for sashing, let's just say like I go in the parameters that it gives me for length and width here. Like the tablecloth or what else would you use this for? I would use it for home deck personally, but you can totally use it for quilting. And then I would
you can use it for, I've done plenty of it for home deck because I think it's a pretty way to make it a table center really pop.
Yeah, so it'll tell you like the total pieces, like the hoop that you have to do. Oh, and another thing we didn't talk about is that it recognizes. Am I jumping the gun?
Go ahead.
Okay, so now you have more brands of colors on the machine. So you have Madeira, Rayon, Sulky, Robeson Anton, and it's got all the colors. So if you literally have the spool in front of you, you can type in the number on the spool and see what it's going to look like stitched out. That's awesome.
It is awesome. So there are 20 of those quilt sashings, and then there are 5 that are 2-color. So they're an integrated 2-color sashing.
Yeah, so let me just show you first what I was thinking. I was going to ask you this question. So when it saves the design, which this is a 2-color sashing design that I did previously.
Yes.
I can pull it up, but it also gives me the components. So could I then just use my camera and kind of do it manually without the machine?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes. It will give you the segments, and that's what you could do if there was a mess up or something. You can always go back and do it that way. But yes, if you prefer to do it manually, that's certainly available to you.
Oh, that's great. So it looks like my camera is lagging a little bit over there, so I'm sorry. Let me just pop back in here and see how's the sound for everybody. And let's ask some questions real quick. Let's see. Wow, wow, wow. I can't stop saying wow. I love it. Oh my goodness. It looks like we don't have any questions. It's just, oh, here's one from Joy. Why would I get this opposed to the Luminaire? Can you answer that?
Yes. How would you do a hat or a boot or a tote bag on your Luminaire? So I'm not saying don't get the Luminaire. I'm just saying get both. The Luminaire is wonderful. It has amazing sewing things, but there are some things that are just very challenging to do. Baby onesies are one of them. You know, you have to sit and watch them because invariably a little baby arm will sneak its way under the needle. Don't ask me how I know that. But with this, that never happens because all of the parts are hanging down and they can't get caught. So if you want to do a pair of blue jeans on your Luminaire, you're going to rip the seam out. If you're going to do a pair of blue jeans on this, you're just going to pop it on and do it. Same thing with sleeves, same thing with caps. So yes, I think you need both, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for answering that question. So, what else is new on this machine? And I think I'm going to have to get a new camera and position my other one because my last camera just decided it was not going to be fun. I wish that the technology that we used to do these videos was as good as Brother. I need to get Brother to make me some cameras for shooting video.
Right, right. Gosh, there's so much on here. It's almost hard to just, because we've wandered around a little bit, it's hard to know exactly which ones I need to focus on here. So let me just kind of take a peek at my notes. We didn't talk about My Design Center at all, and that's a program that some of you may not be familiar with. And My Design Center is in the bottom corner of the screen, and it is a true digitizing program. It actually allows you to create your own designs, whether you write on the screen directly or whether you scan in. You have the ability to scan something in and then digitize it with the scan board and get a beautiful design out of it. So that's a very, very impressive program, and they've added a ton of features to it. For those of you that have it now, you will love the new features. They have greater enlargement, so you can get down to the eyelash, literally, on a doll's face. So you can go up to 1,600%. So that's quite a bit. You also have the ability to add in a bunch of decorative fills. We had 10 decorative fills before in quilting background. Now we have 26 more. So I'm sorry, now we have a total of 26.
I love that the color, Coleen, isn't bright green anymore. It's now like this nice, and it looks like it's a whole new interface, right? Is that right to say?
No, the interface is actually the same as it was. It's just got so much more tucked into it.
Got it. And the look is different.
The look is different a little bit, partially because of the border. They made everything so it's easier to see, easier to navigate.
Yeah.
Always, that was one of the things that impressed me so much about this program is there are a couple of tools that I would look for and they wouldn't be where I wanted them to be, and now they are right where I think they should be. So let's go through and just set a design and let them see the whole thing from the start to the finish. How's that sound?
Of course. Let's do it.
Just go home.
Okay.
And we're going to choose the newest butterfly category,
which is so awesome. The new designs in this machine are beautiful.
Now I want you to choose design number 7.
Okay.
And set it.
It's big.
I know it is. It's beautiful. It's a little too overwhelming for what I want. And this is the design I was showing you earlier. So I'm going to have you make it for them. So we have the same tools that we've had in the past. I'm just going to go through them real quickly. You have size, rotate, flip, density, color change. So you can change a color to a different color if you wanted to and see what it looks like on screen. The next one
I love that. Oh, that's new, right? The color shuffling has favorites now. I'm sorry, I keep going down rabbit holes, Coleen.
It's
I'm
right.
so excited.
It's okay. It's exciting. The color shuffling. Do you want to show them color shuffling now, or
yeah,
do we
I'll
want to
do
move?
that. But don't forget that we'll go back and see. You could still do color shuffling with the Madeira thread colors. So you have random, gradient, vivid, and soft. I
Choose
think
this one in soft, choose it in like yellow, and then I don't know, choose whatever you want. It's just fun to see it come up in the different colors.
yeah. So here's like random. You could let's see. I like vivid personally because it's crazy.
Okay, and then you just mark a couple with favorites.
Oops.
And you have multiple screens that you can do this with. And
Yeah,
then
so
you can go back and choose your favorites, and only your favorites will show. And then you can pick from your favorites or delete. So instead of having so many at a time to look at, you get it down to just the ones that you picked as the best choices. So I really, really like that feature. I was playing with that today.
Yeah, you can have up to 9 favorites, and then you can like pare them down and then go and choose even more favorites and pare those down. So,
Right.
yeah.
So you can fine tune it pretty much.
And so if I wanted to go back and refresh again and see even more options.
You can keep doing it.
Oh, I liked that one. Oh, and it will let you go back in the page in case you are button happy like me. So I like that one.
Okay, we got to show them another feature of this while we're on this. So go back to where the design was, where the original design was.
Flare. Here, how about that?
That's better. That's much better.
Okay. So where do I go?
Back to your main design.
Okay.
Or you can just choose. There you go.
Okay, so Joy asked if this machine does Disney designs. Since this is a professional machine that people use for businesses, Brother does not have a Disney version of this machine. But actually with the Persona PRS100, the single needle tubular arm machine, you can use iBroidery to download Disney designs. So it is iBroidery Disney capable for the tubular arm for the single needle Persona PRS100. Is that right, Coleen?
That is correct. Disney will not allow Brother to have it on one of these machines because they use some of these machines in their facilities and they know how long they work. And they don't want you turning out Disney designs as your own shop. So
got it.
So you have the flower. Get rid of your color shuffling on the bottom.
So just click OK. Or,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we were going through the options here. Okay.
Right. So we have a new one on the 3rd row down, first icon, and that's alignment. So you have a right, left, center alignment. It's a very, very nice feature. If you've set up a bunch of designs, you can do that. The next one is applique. The next one is
Coleen. That one's brand new. So after don't forget that I do want to show that one to everybody. How that works.
All right, we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
The next one is the applique shield, and then the next one is an open flower. And the open flower is saving that for my design center. So we don't need to do it right now, but that is what that does. And the last one has a new feature. It's been there before, but it has a new feature now. So if you press stippling,
yes,
it comes up as stippling. But if you press the one beside it, it will give you echo quilting.
Echo.
Great. And you can base your echo quilting. You can tell it which is the correct hoop you're using. So that if you were planning and you don't have the hoop on, you might say, oh, I wanted to do this in my B arm with the, so you'll just choose the hoop and let's say what hoop would I might want to use. Well, I might actually be wanting to use, not that one. That one's a grayed out one's too skinny for my design. But I would come down and maybe I would choose, even this one's too skinny. But you can actually just choose the right hoop and it will add the
so if I wanted it, yeah, so we pulled up a huge design, so we would have to use it, but you can see how it would fill in a square for a quilting design.
Correct.
And how that would look.
Space it further away if you want to, or closer, whichever. But
so that's the distance from the actual design here. So you can, I like it to have a little bit of breathing room. I
So do
usually
I.
always increase that whenever I
I do
pull in.
too. I actually did this one really tight so it would really pop, but I prefer it having some breathing room myself.
And
But
I
that's
like making the spacing greater in the Echo, because when you have like quilt batting, a lot of batting, it creates like a really nice texture.
It does indeed.
Yes.
Okay, so let's now, they've gotten an idea about that. Let's go back to that alignment tool. Let's go back and just select a little design.
Let me just
We're gonna-
delete that. Oh, I can add and use the
Yeah,
alignment.
but we don't want to add that because it's too big of a design. Let's go down.
I'm going to make one. Coleen.
What are you doing? What
I,
trouble are you?
just trust me, Coleen. Trust me.
Oh,
Coleen
no, I know better than that.
is all caps.
Oh, no.
Add. Amazing.
Oh, all right. Now I trust you.
And then, so I can like space these like, oh, you know what is new too? And we'll get to that. When you duplicate, it pushes it off to the side instead of having it on top of each other, which is awesome.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and let me just delete this so that I can show you. I'm going to move Coleen is, so before you would have to manually line these up on your computer screen or your screen, and tell me if I'm doing this justice, Coleen. So you can literally like select all and then choose this alignment tool, and it gives you left alignment, right alignment. Say if you have like embroidery designs and you want them all to be top aligned or bottom aligned, like this would be good if I wanted it all in one line. So I would say I would ungroup it and then move each individual component over. If you get what I'm saying. Okay, so this one was written by Yoda, apparently. So, but you get what I'm saying.
When you did left, then they all went. What we're going to do, let's see. I can find it again now.
So I'm going to ungroup and move it around. This is a big deal. I can't.
It is indeed.
Is Coleen amazing? Yes.
No, I think we were talking about the design being amazing.
Yeah. So not only for lettering, you can use it to line up designs, which I think is where you were going with it, right?
It is. Now on my screen, I'm going to slide you right up here and see if you can see. Can you see what I have on my screen?
Yes.
Y'all ought to recognize that. Right? So we're going to select those guys. Come on. And we're going to tell it to align, and we can align them by center. We can align them exactly what she was showing. I think sometimes it's a little bit easier to see them when they're, well, I lined them by center so they're all on top of each other.
So I'll do it too. Which category was the fleur-de-lis in?
Flowers. It's the flower category. There you go. And it's not very far down. There you go.
Did I pass it?
It's number.
Oh, there it is. Set. Yeah. Oh, here's the duplicate feature. That's just cool. Like if you want more than one. On the old PRs, it would do it right on top of each other. And now it offsets it to the side, which is great.
So you don't accidentally inadvertently skip over.
Yeah. So if I want it to be bottom aligned, it will align it. And then I unselect it. And then I can move the individual ones in a row.
Right.
So that we know that they're perfectly aligned.
Right.
That's huge.
I know. It
Yes.
is. Okay, let's choose a design. I'm going to go back to that big flower because I really want to. I want to do something to that guy in a minute.
We do have a question from Eloisa. She's asking, when you bring in a USB design, does it show the whole name now? I haven't tested that, so I'll have to check that.
I actually don't know that answer. It may not, but
Yeah. Charlene says that it would save a lot of time, that alignment feature. So this is the icon again. And you could do left, right, bottom, top, and then center horizontally or center vertically, which is so cool. So where do we go next, Coleen?
go back to that big flower. It's in the very first flower design. And it was down about number 12-ish.
This? Let's see.
Okay. Let's go back. Let me go back and just grab it.
Okay.
Oh, he's number 7.
7?
In the new. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this is for garment sewing. For a collar?
No, it's huge. It's 13 inches. But we're gonna.
I thought that was a neckline. Okay.
No, we're gonna change it. Oh, it could be a garment line. It could be a
I'm
neckline.
on a different one. Let me go to the one that you're on.
Oh, that one is a collar one. It's
That's
also, you can do
pretty.
wreath out of it. It's 2 halves of a wreath also.
Here we go. I got it.
All right, so we're just going to cruise through because we've already seen the first page of designs. We're going to touch the first page. We're going to touch edit end. And now we have a new page of tools. Because the first page was our getting our design ready. Now the next page is our page where we're going to edit them and change them. So we can rotate, we can add basting around it. This one is grayed out because it won't work right now with this one. It's such a big design. But it would be pattern connect by camera, which is a way that uses 2 snowmen to make your designs line up perfectly.
Yeah.
The snowman we know, the color start we know, the single color we know, but we don't know this icon right here. So he's the top row, the last guy in line, touch him. And you got a new page, and it's a pretty exciting page because sometimes we need to put in some stops. We want the machine to stop because we need to do something, put another piece down or something, and we can just go ahead and put in our pauses right there.
So which ones do you want to pause? It doesn't matter? Or just...
No, I don't want to pause any of them. I just wanted you to show that tool. This is the tool that I love because this little tool says no sew, and it shows me right here what I'm sewing. And if I don't want to sew it, and I don't, I'm just going to touch that. And it went away.
Coleen! My
Do you
mind
love me
is
yet?
blown. I love you.
No. I thought so.
And brother.
So lilac, and here's what it does. I don't want to sew that. Seacrest is the leaves over here. I don't want to sew that. The lilac, I don't even want to sew that whole stupid flower. I don't want any lilac. I need a much smaller design.
So now you can literally take out components of the design if I just wanted the flower.
Oh, I am totally doing that right as we speak. So there is the fresh green that was in the middle. It's not sewing. There's the brass. That's the outline. That's not going to sew. Look at my beautiful yellow flower.
You would have to have software to do that before.
Now you no, I have a magic stylus. Oh, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. This would have been a software function. And it isn't going to work this way in every design. It depends on how the colors were laid in and how they're sorted. But in this design, this works perfectly. So I'm going to get rid of the mint green. See, it shows me again, those are all those leaves. I don't want them to sew. That's the outline. I want that. The harvest gold, I don't want. The fresh green, I don't want. The cream brown, I don't want. Oh, yeah. So now what have I got? I've got a beautiful, beautiful, spectacular, don't I?
The leaves have white space, like it's blank space behind it, and it's just the outlines.
Yes. It is spectacular.
That is going to be fun to play with. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh. I love what it did to the leaves right there.
Oh, it's just amazing what it, what it can do with just deleting those colors.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have this amazing, amazing, amazing outline design. And it was a lot of work to do.
So is that feature on the Luminaire or just on the 1055X?
I don't remember that it's on the Luminaire.
I don't think it is, but I'm going to double check on mine because that's pretty neat. Let me go back.
Because on the Luminaire, if you don't want something to sew, you just don't put that color in. You just skip to the next color.
True. But on this one, you have to do a lot more. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is really a cool feature because on the Luminaire, I mean, if you want to skip a color, it stops at the end of the color. You just skip a color forward and it's not a big deal.
True.
But on this guy, it's a lot more work to do that. So
Got it.
I was pretty impressed.
Oh my goodness. I love
That
that.
impressed. Yeah, I told you.
Can't you zoom? Can you zoom more on this one? Or is that I'm getting the features confused.
Zoom more as to make it bigger.
Yeah. I know the Luminaire has a greater zoom on it.
Well, in my design center, we have the same. Ours is 1600. And I don't know that we have that in our regular screen, but in our My Design Center, we do have 1600 now.
Oh, great. This is new, right? Oh my God. Never mind. I'm going, you go ahead. I'm going
Did
to
you
the
go
beginning.
to camera? Which one did you go to? Did you go to camera view?
Yeah, I did. So
Okay.
let me just go home. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to go home and we're going to talk about, we talked about sashing. We haven't talked a lot about My Design Center yet. So let's get into that.
No, we haven't.
That's my favorite. Unless you have something else that you wanted to bring up.
Well, just while we're on that flower that you're on right now, we do have the big camera so you can see for perfect placement. And then we also have the big magnifying glass icon right here with the big plus on it. And that also will bring them up so that you can see them really, really big. Because that is a live camera. That camera is a live camera, and its purpose in life in my world is when I want to see if a design is lined up perfectly on a cap, I can touch that and it's going to be lined up exactly perfectly.
Got it. So it's scanning my background right now.
Okay, that you're on a different camera. You did the scan.
Okay.
That's okay. You did the scan, and we have that tool. The tool beside it is an actual live camera that allows you to interactive, allows you to have a design on the screen that appears on the garment below. And then you can move it live and see, which is really cool.
That's cool.
And then you also have the magnifying glass, which will do you a little bit different view. Also big, also live.
Wow.
So you have no excuse to fail at placement anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Between all of these and the snowman, you really should be perfect.
Yeah.
Every time. And we didn't even talk about the snowman because he's not new.
I know, but some people have the 600 machines and don't have the 10 needle that has the camera that will read the snowman. So there's a sticker where you can literally hoop crooked. You put your sticker crosshairs which way you want it to go. The camera will read this sticker and automatically rotate your design so that you don't have to work so hard hooping. The machine will fix it for you. Did I explain that right?
You did a great job. So what it means is there's no more mistakes. I mean, I don't know how many times you've done a baby onesie or design over a shirt pocket and it wasn't quite straight. Well, with this, it's going to be right.
Anne appreciates my ADD because I just get so excited. I see these features and I'm like, oh, but what about this? And what about this? And that's what's so great. Creative people aren't necessarily the most organized in their mind, but,
No. We try to make it linear enough so that they can follow along with what we're doing, but there are some wonderful features.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about My Design Center?
Well, sure. We can talk about My Design Center. We're just going to press home and we're going to talk My Design Center. And for those who don't know, I think you can see it on Barbara's screen. There's 3 choices. Image scan means you're scanning something, and it could be, I've actually scanned a fabric and had it duplicate the fabric by colors. Line design means it's a drawing. So, no, I'm sorry. Image is just a picture. Line design is the drawing. So it's like a color, coloring page type. So I do that all the time. And illustration design, I'm sorry, is the one where it actually does the colors for you. And I've actually taken fabric and scanned it and had it stitch out. You want to be careful doing that. It has to be fabric that's got some good delineations on it, but it can do it.
Yeah. But you can also manually draw lines. So if it's not perfect, you can even fix it in the machine.
You know, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just write my name, or I'll choose a shape and fill a shape. The shapes are wonderful. You can just choose a shape, maybe choose a flower shape and pop that up there, and then choose a circle shape. And that's going to be gigantic. So just resize it down. Just make it smaller so that it looks like the center of the flower. There you go.
So for those of you who have the 1050, which is the model before this one, you have My Design Center, but there's more functions in it now with the 1055, which we'll show. So this is currently in the 1050.
Correct.
But we'll show you the new things that are in the 1055, which is exciting.
To me, this is the most amazing. Is there a question? When they told me they were putting this in a machine, I honestly couldn't believe it was humanly possible, because this is a software function. And it is on the machine. So the top box right here with the straight line and the ziggy beside it is your outline. The little straight line means outline. The big filled box means fill. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Oh, that's fill, that's line.
Right.
Yep.
So take the box, not the line, the box one, and touch the bucket and touch the checklist. And there's fill, there's stippling, and then oh boy, there's filled patterns.
And this is what's new.
Yes, so we had 10, and now we have 36. So you can pick whatever you want. I'm going to pick number 25 because it's new and cool. And I'm going to make it light brown, and I'm going to touch the center of my flower. Is that cool? Now let's make our, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
I filled my center of my flower.
Now I probably do this in yellow, but you can't see it on the screen. That's why I chose brown. And we're going to take that box again, and we're going to touch the bucket again and the list again, and that pops it up. And this time we're going to choose something for the petals. So what do we want? Oh, I'm going with the roses. And I'm going to go with pink. And I'm going to touch, and I have a pink rose border around my. You with me?
Oh, did you add another shape around it? I'm sorry.
I just have 2. I have a circle and a flower.
Okay, I just need to add the flower. And then, oh, I see. So let's see. Let me see. So I have 2 inner fills. Was that available on the 1050? Oh, okay. I just have never tried that one.
The thing is, there were so many things that you just didn't get to try them all. That's the trouble.
Yeah, there's so many.
So now we're going to go back here to the outline, just the line thing, and we're going to choose the bucket because that's going to tell it to do everything. We're going to choose the checklist because that gets us to choosing what we want. we're going to choose the candle wicking stitch. It's the top row on the right-hand side. And because we can, we're going to choose it in orangey gold. And we're going to touch it. And it turns the black outline around the flower, around the center, that color.
Mm-hmm. If I click it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then we're going to choose the pencil and the bucket. We're going to choose the list. The bucket means you're going to do the whole thing. The pencil means you're just going to draw something. You want a small bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we touch the second row with all the last one, and then we see the word select.
Oh, that's new, right?
It actually, it was there before, but again, most people didn't know it was there. So choose one that you like. And I'm going to just choose this zigzaggy one. That always looks really good in the leaf. And I'm going to choose a hot pink. And I'm going to touch my outer ring. And then we're going to go to next. Now you should have a pretty good view of what your flower looks like.
Yay! And these are brand new. These little buttons.
Oh yeah, these fills. On the upper top, you see arrows. So right now, the selection that you're making is the roses. What size do you want them? Well, you can change them down to 50% or up to 200. You can rotate the angle. You can choose to have an outline or no. You can morph them. So when you morph them, they become distorted. Let me grab a sample.
Okay.
To show you that. Because
Yes,
when
the playbook is going to walk you through these features, which is so great.
See how this doesn't look like circles that are perfect anymore?
Mm-hmm.
They've been morphed. So this one's morphed even more. I love the way that these make it look now. And here's the circles that we actually started with, the perfect circles. There they are.
Wow.
So see, isn't this more fun for the feel of it?
Yeah, it takes perfect circles and makes them look more like pebbles.
Well, it's just more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
It added
so that's this one. It's called Random Shift. So if I wanted to change it, see how it kind of morphed that? And then I could even make it like smaller and you could even see the difference.
Okay, and then the next box over has black numbers underneath it. And what that does is if you needed a pattern to be aligned, because it always aligns on center, but you may not want it aligned on center. You may want the pattern to align specifically with at the top. You can actually move the arrow keys and make it make the pattern shift up or down, whichever is needed.
Okay. So I selected the middle portion and I'm moving it to the right a little bit.
Okay, so you'll see the difference right away.
Yeah, it's not in the center. Oh man, Coleen, I love you. Thank you so much for doing this video with us. I love it.
It's fun, huh? And then the last one of this one is whether you want to sew in triple or single. So sometimes we just want that single look and sometimes we want pizzam, we want the triple. Like on these,
let me make you
on this one I wanted single. So it's not got a lot of pop to it, but on these, most of them I did triple. See how much more powerful they are?
Mm-hmm.
So those are your choices, single or triple.
Yeah, I think the triple might actually make your quilt a little bit more stiff too. So some quilters might prefer the single stitch to the, but the triple stitch just looks really neat. It looks more like a hand stitch.
It does. I mean, there's benefits and, you know, there's always an advantage or gee, I don't like it that way for one situation or another, but it's nice to have that choice.
Mm-hmm. So then I could even change my lines. or the outer line or the inner line here too.
You can change everything. So if you
cool.
want to, yeah, you just touch the arrow key and you'll move. Now we see we're at the fill. Now we move and we see the pink outline. So with the pink outline, I can make it taller, closer together, or flip it. I can have it outside or inside, whichever I prefer.
Okay, so I'm making mine taller. It's recalculating. And oh yeah, it made it much taller.
So you
Spacing
have
more.
the cool thing here is you have so much that you can do. This is a
Totally
stupid
different.
with a stupid circle and a flower. I mean, come on. But look what we can do with it. And
oh,
then,
you know what else is new?
what?
That we forgot to talk about that's a big deal. In my design center and in editing, they now have undo redo.
Oh, yes, you're right about that. And there's multiples of
Yes.
them. It's not just one, it's a bunch.
So
And I'm
before
going to,
in my design center, you could not do redo. So you would have to find out what you did and then actually redo it yourself. You couldn't go back and forth like that. That is a big deal. I think that and the alignment is probably my two most favorite things, I think. But there's so much new that with the machine. Oh, and the magnetic and the tubular. Oh, I just can't decide, Coleen.
that's the trouble. My favorite is at the moment that I'm using it, that's my most favorite, like the hat hoop. I love that. But then when you need the tubular table, oh, that steps up to be the favorite.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
Well, how about just Brothers my favorite? Let's just say that.
Okay, that works. That works.
Okay, so let me show you how you could do undo redo like in a regular design. Oh, and if you wanted to take out the background, you can do that in your settings, right?
Yes.
So I just go to background image off. Okay, and then it takes it off. So if I want to pull up a design, which I love the unicorn.
I know.
Set.
The unicorn is fun for sure.
Let me just add, oh, I can't add stippling to one that big. That's good to know. Let me pick one that's a little bit smaller because it can't go around something that takes up the whole frame, right?
Oh,
okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, so does that one. These designs are just too big. Let me find one that's a little bit, I'll just do a scripty letter because that's pretty. Okay, and then I'll do my auto echo. Or oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I'm going to set it a little farther away. I'm going to undo redo, but I need to do something first before I do that, right? Okay. And then if I wanted to like move this over, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Undo. Wait, I kind of liked that. Redo. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that. I love that. And yes, Tanya, I love the unicorn. Do you want to see that one again? And let me know if you want to see any particular designs. But I'm totally
quilting around my unicorn. I'm just saying.
I love it.
Want to know how I did it?
How?
I cheated.
Oh, I want to know a cheat. Is it a hat?
You want me to teach you my cheating ways?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you in my design center or are you in embroidery?
Nope, I'm in them here. Oh, poo. Ta-da! Can you see my screen?
It's a little hard. I see.
Okay.
Oh, you did the background. You did the badge and brought it in, right? So you did
yes.
this?
You take a stamp of him. Take a stamp of your unicorn.
Okay.
You know, that's what the badge, whatever you want to call it is, that makes an outline of it.
That's new.
And then,
was the My Design Center there before, the button? Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to go home. Go to My Design Center.
Oh, I thought it was smart. It doesn't like it because the design is so big.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what happened because it has to extend around to actually do the echo.
Right.
But to do it on like a smaller design.
Right.
Like this.
Yeah, I love this.
your outline.
What I love about this feature is this allows me to take anybody's design. I don't care whose it is. I bought a design, I want to use it in a quilt, or I bought it and I want to put it on a pocket and I want it to be quilted. I can use that icon. It'll save the space and then it'll quilt around it. And I love it. And it'll do it all in one hooping. So
There it
it
is.
makes it so easy.
So that's the outline. And then I just go to fills, select anything, right? Okay.
Yep.
Let's make it a bold color so you can see it. And then paint bucket around him. Next. Oh, that looks way too uniform. So I'm going to definitely make it smaller. Okay. I need to choose a different hoop, right?
Yeah. You have such a big hoop as for this small design that you chose.
Yeah.
But you know, these are things that you live and learn. And the beauty of this is that she's learned from her choice didn't work out the way she wanted it to visually before we've committed it to fabric and thread. So before we've made that commitment to the fabric and the thread and the sewing time, we already know whether we're going to like it and be happy with it or not. And that's another huge time saver that the camera provides for us, that what this machine can do for us. So my love of the machine, you asked me earlier, why do I love it? I've loved it from the beginning because it does so much. It does it so easily. If you needed or wanted to use it for business, it's the perfect tool. And if you just needed or wanted to make gifts for your family and your neighbors and your friends, it's the perfect tool. Because it'll do anything. It'll literally just do anything.
So this is what I would do, and tell me if I'm crazy, because oftentimes, yes, I am. I'll just pull in. I'll just pull in two shapes. So I have a square, like the size of my hoop, that's going around this shape, and then I could totally do that fill.
Sure.
Like that, and then put it in there, and then modify it.
Yep.
Make it smaller. I just needed like a parameter in there. Make it shifty. Look at that. How cool.
There's so much in the toolbox. The right tool is generally right there for you. It's just knowing which tool is going to be the right tool for you.
If I wanted the angle of it to be a little different, I could do that. Oh my gosh, I'm going down a rabbit hole again. Sorry, Anne. Anne appreciates my rabbit holes.
Well, it's the creative mind running amok. Does anyone have any questions about the things that we've done with them so far?
Do you have any samples you want to show while I switch my camera? We could do a Q&A.
I do have some samples. Let me move this camera out. I showed you the big heavy coat. I showed you some of the quilting, all of them. I didn't show you the butterfly. Oops, I'm going to step back a little bit. There we go. Isn't she pretty?
Yes.
And she's quilted 3 butterfly designs that you can move and group and do different things with, but she's just stitches fantastic. Here's this one I made. Let me see if I can get the whole thing in. It is using one of the new quilt sashings. It is using one of the new fills. And then the lettering was just done on PR.
Is that just white thread in the middle, or is that some kind of clear thread?
No, it's just white thread.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
Thank you. It was just a little fun thing to remind my grandchildren that it's, you know, when we're together, that's where home is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they forget.
Quilts and designs.
And then let's see if I can hold this one. Friends of the flowers in our meadows, the sunshine in our heart. Isn't that beautiful?
You're the sunshine in our heart, Coleen.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I didn't do this one, but I have it to show and I love it. I might have to do one too. And then let's see. I don't know if you can see this one well enough or not. Ooh. You see it?
Ah, yes, plant guru. Is that triple stitch? Or
It's actually a satin.
okay,
actually
it looks like it
satin.
has dimension on it to some
Okay.
sort.
This is a real economical tote bag. Just a
Mhm.
handy little, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
And this is an answer to the person who said, would I get a PR or a Luminaire? To do this on the Luminaire takes more effort. To do this on the PR, I simply slide open the zipper, slide the hoop, inner hoop ring inside, and the upper hoop ring on top, and it's ready to go. Slides right over the arm this way.
So the benefit of having a multi-needle to a flatbed machine is the ability to get items wrapped around this little, and let me just take off the table. The table is included with the machine. It comes with 4 hoops in the box, tons of tools and accessories.
A cool box.
This is the large frame, but there's also a jumbo available for split designs, and now a optional magnetic. But to fit around this, my goodness, you can fit so many things around this, but with a big flat surface like that, it's so hard to hoop.
You have to be standing right there, keeping an eye on it. When you're doing a shirt or a tote bag, like the little bag I just showed you, you have to be right there. I'm not saying you can't do it, because you can. And I used to do it before there was a multi-needle, but you have to get it just right. So
yeah. So let's talk about, because in the beginning we went through some accessories that are available for the multi-needle machines.
Right.
Those accessories are optional add-ons to the 1055.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Sometimes your dealer might include a few of those free with the purchase of the machine. So definitely check out your dealer's website, see what offers they're giving on that. Can we do just like a quick recap, like a speed round? And if anybody, Tanya says, holy moly, that is huge. It is jumbo. Oh
what, the machine? The machine really
The
isn't
hoop.
that big. The machine really isn't that big.
It's really not. It takes up less area this way than the Luminaire. The Luminaire's like 3-4 feet long. This one is only maybe it's a little over 2 feet. So I would say it's half the foot. It is a little deeper, but I would say if you're considering this, not getting this because of the size, and you don't have to put it on a frame, you can put it on a tabletop. But tell me if the benefit of the frame is so that you have this cutout insert here.
It is.
Items can have a free range.
So they can hang down out of the way and not get caught on anything. So that's the big advantage of that.
Yeah.
Is that opening is there. So the PR has the ability to do lots of things that other machines do not have the ability to do. It is more user-friendly than any other machine on the marketplace that I can think of as far as accessibility and navigating. We've shown you some of the navigation through the screens. We didn't talk about our snowman, and he's a wonderful feature. He's not new, but he's wonderful. And you just simply put the snowman on the shirt or the cap or the sweater that you're going to do, and the shirt or the sweater that you're going to do, and it will be oriented perfect every time. It never fails. So that saves you a lot in mistakes, because mistakes cost money. No matter what you're making a quilt or whatever you're doing, it doesn't make any difference. But it comes with 4 nice sizes of hoops. It comes with the tool set, so you have all of the basic tools. Brother prides themselves on giving you everything you need to kind of get going right away. Videos on video to teach you how to do it.
Yeah. So I do have some questions. Oh, Cindy says snowman stickers are awesome. Yes, I agree. And Tanya was saying, oh, no, not the machine. It's the hoop that's big. So let me show you. And Reen WIlcoxson was asking, is the hoop size the same as the PR1050?
Yes.
Yes. So that's this is the embroidery area size. There are hoops that are larger, though, that you can get for split. This is the hoop size for the Luminaire. So if you want to see them side by side. 10 and 5/8 by 16.
The thing is, if you wanted a larger hoop, you know, now you have the magnetic hoop. And that is so easy to hoop and change that it's not included, but it's money well spent.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Does it stitch one color? Okay, so Karen's a newbie to multi-needle embroidery. So it has 10 needles, 10 threads on it. And basically you program it so that it can stitch in succession up to 10 colors before you have to come back and change any settings on there.
In some cases, it has the ability, I'm going to jump in here because it has the ability to go back and forth. And sometimes what will happen in a design is you will see black or maybe red in a design in two different places. And it has to be stitched in that design in that place for layering. So you'll see this a lot of times. There'll be a layer of black and then there'll be something that'll stitch over the top and then there'll be black again on top of that. So it doesn't matter. The machine will go back and forth 100 times. If I put, and I do this all the time, if I put 10 applique patches in my hoop, I can either tell it to stitch all the reds the first time, or I can just tell it to complete a patch the first time, whichever is my choice.
I love that. And there's, oh, we forgot about the spool things, like where it shows you on the screen, the spools. But that's pretty cool too. It's like a nice integrated feature because you program in the machine what colors are on what needle so that you can easily go and
then the machine tells you if it's got the wrong color. If it has brown where it wants green, it'll show you that you should have put green there.
Did we talk about the apps?
Well, we talked a little bit about My Stitch Monitor, but we need to hit on that again because it is just truly an amazing app in that, first of all, I mentioned that I can send directly from my PE design, which I love. But also because if I go to get a cup of coffee, I know if a thread broke and I'm not wasting time, I can actually get right back and go back and get my coffee later or whatever. Yeah. So I love that. And it actually tells me finished stitching or paused, or it gives me different, I can see what stitch count I'm on. I can see what color I'm on. It's a pretty impressive app actually. And to get that app, it's really easy. On the screen, there's an actual little app icon and you just hold your phone up close to that. And it doesn't matter whether you're using Android or Apple, and it will use the icon and go to our website, the Brother website, and get that information for you.
Okay, so because this is very important, let me just go back home. I always go down rabbit holes because these machines can do so much. So is this it? This icon here?
No. Go
guide?
through. I think it's on page there. That's it.
Yeah. So you just basically hold your phone up to this and it will do the stitch monitor.
Yes, I think I can't remember if I had to be in I can't remember if I had to be in the web or if I was just in my camera mode, but I just held it close and it did it. It was like, wow, that was so easy. Even I can do it.
Mm-hmm. You know? So there's 2 apps available for the Luminaire. Are there 2 apps available for the 1055?
There's Stitch Monitor, and that covers everything.
Okay, cool. Great.
The Luminaire has another one. It's called My Design Snap. So you can take a picture and put it on.
Got it. Okay.
It's cool though, huh?
It is so cool. I love that. Let's see. Are we missing anything else, Coleen?
I don't know. I'm sure they'll ask a question and we'll go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree. So let's see. Let me go through my oh, you did your show and tell. The Playbook is available now. Oh my gosh. We've covered so much in the past 4 days. It's just been so exciting.
I'm sure your mind is just blown.
And Keller says, very nice machine. So this is actually concluding. This is part 4 of our big reveal series, but we will definitely do more videos in the future. And I just want to thank you, Coleen, for being available to us and to our watchers, our loyal watchers of the Allbrands show, and to Brother, who is such an amazing company to do business with. And I see it from all sides. I see it from the usability of the machine, but I also see it from the angle of support that the dealers get from the company through educators and the events that they have, and the family in Japan that started the business, the Japanese engineering. Their warranty system is the best in the business.
It is.
Yeah, and I know firsthand because my husband repairs all of the machines out of our Baton Rouge location, and he's just so amazed at the how well the Brother machines are built, how long they last. We still get PR600s and for maintenance repairs sometimes with millions and millions of stitches on it that people are using for a business. But one thing that I want to point out about this PR1055 is that I think it really bridges the gap between the Luminaire and the PR. I feel like it was like two different worlds. Like if you're a quilter, you get the Luminaire. If you're going into business, you get the PR. Duh. Well, now with the PR 1055, you totally have all of the quilting features in it now. And you have the ability to go into business and sell on Etsy. So it's just so versatile of a machine now. And they used a term called quilt broidery that I thought was, it hit the nail on the head.
It did. It's a good term.
Mm-hmm. And Joanne says, hooray for all the engineers in Japan that bring us all these wonderful products. They are awesome. And I can tell you, because when we have the Houston Quilt Festival every year, the Japanese come and they look to see what's out there in the market. And they ask everyone questions like, what would you improve about this machine? And they listen and they make those changes. And I think that's why they are the best manufacturer of embroidery machines, hands down. So
thank you for that. I'll tell a little story about the engineers too.
Oh, okay.
I was actually at your Houston store doing a class, and one of the engineers was there visiting, and he asked if I had any suggestions, and I said, oh, please come in. Oh, please sit down. And I turned the class, I probably had 25 people in that class. I turned my class loose on him. And they had some really good, innovative ideas that we're now seeing coming into the machines.
Mm-hmm.
So they listened.
Yeah.
They listened and they made it happen.
Yeah. And they have updates too of machines as well.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
I was just so impressed with the things. Sometimes people ask really reasonable things and you go, I don't know why I didn't think of that. And they do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always let us know.
Oh, look, Robin's had her PR600 too for 14 years now, and it runs fantastically. Well, Robin, let us know when you're ready to get more features, and we'll take that in on trade. So let us know how you guys are using your sewing and embroidery and quilting machines. Oh, thank you, Anne. Anne says this reveal virtually has been so much better than just going into the store after the new machines come in. Learn so much more.
Oh, that was sweet. Maybe because we're focused on, you know, we can do the complete focus.
Yeah. Well, it looks like that was the dinner bell, and we probably have to say goodbye for now, but not forever, because we will definitely be doing more. And I hope that you come back on our show with us in the future.
I'd
Coleen.
love to. I'd love to. It's fun. You guys have a fun group.
Yes, we do. And I love everyone that's watching. Everyone's so supportive. It just makes it such a pleasure. And aren't we in the best industry, the most fun? I feel guilty that I have like the best job in the world because I get to
I just
play with
embrace
sewing
it.
machines all day.
I get paid to do what I love.
I know. And it's really been keeping me sane through everything that we've been going through,
Yeah.
in the world right now. So I'm just so thankful that we have tools to help us be creative. So,
To keep our mental health healthy.
yes.
Thank you all so much.
Yes. Thank you all, and have a wonderful weekend. And please contact us through Facebook or YouTube. Ask us questions, and we would love to answer them and just get you into this wonderful world of quilting and embroidery and business. And there's just so many possibilities. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Coleen. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Do fun stuff,
Bye.
create beautiful things, and have a wonderful weekend. Mwah.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.